All right, this is section 5.5. We're talking about zeros of polynomial functions. So first thing we need to talk about is the remainder theorem. If a polynomial f of x is divided by x minus k, then the remainder is a value of f of k. Okay, so if you've got a polynomial and you divide it by this particular polynomial, so it's got to be in that format, x minus k, then the remainder is a value of f of k. So you take what k is, and then you plug that into the polynomial that you're trying to divide by, or that is trying to be divided by x minus k, and that will give you the remainder. So looking at this one, use the remainder theorem to find the remainder. Okay, so this polynomial is being divided by this one right here, and this fits the format, x something and then a number. Okay, it could be x plus 2, and we'll get into that here in a minute. I have another example with x plus 3. Okay, so our k here is just 2. Okay, so I'm going to look for f of k and f of 2 because k is 2. So I'm just going to plug that in to that polynomial. Okay, so then we've got 6 times 2 raised to 4, and that's just 2 times itself 4 times. This is 4, this is 4. 16 times 16, or sorry, 4 times 4, that is 16. Minus 2 raised to 3, so I'm going to take away just one of these two. So you've got 4 times 2, so that's going to be 8. Minus 15, 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 2 times 2, that's 4, minus 7. Okay, and then we got 6 times 16, which is 96, minus 8, minus 15 times 4. 60 plus 4 minus 7. And that will give us 25. So that means the remainder, when you divide this by this, will be 25. Now let's just go back and check if it actually is 25, see if this actually works. Okay, so I'm going to use long division. Okay, so I need to get these two to be the exact same. So that's going to be 6x cubed. Okay, so that will be negative 12x cubed, 6x raised to the 4. Change your signs, goes away. I have 11x cubed. Bring down this negative 15x squared. Then plus 11x squared, get these two the same. Okay, so then you have a negative 22x squared plus 11 cubed. Okay, change the signs. That goes away. And we have 7x squared. Bring down the plus 2x. Okay, get these two the same. So that'd be plus 7x. Okay, so that will be negative 14x and 7x squared. So change the signs. So that would be 16x. Bring down that negative 7. Okay, so plus 16. So that will be 16 times negative 2 would be negative 32 and 16x. Change the signs. 32 minus 7, hey, that is 25. Okay, now remember, this right here, that was always the remainder. Okay, so what we have for our final answer is 6x cubed plus 11x squared plus 7x plus 16 plus 25 over x minus 2. Okay, so when it says find the remainder, all we have to do is, if we have an x and then plus or minus some number, all we have to do is plug in that number into the polynomial that they gave us, and it will go ahead and give us the remainder, which is 25. So it saves us this work right here of trying to find the remainder going through long division. So let's look at this one. Same thing, we're finding the remainder. So we have a polynomial divided by x plus 3. Okay, so k here, now I need to rewrite this as x minus negative 3. So my k is negative 3. So f of k, which will be f of negative 3, so that'll be 2, negative 3 raised to 5, minus 3, negative 3 raised to 4, minus 9, negative 3 raised to 3, plus 8, negative 3 squared, plus 2. Okay, so a negative times itself 5 times, so negative 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 negatives make a positive, so I'm going to leave that negative there. Positive times a positive gives you positive, and a positive times a negative, that will give you a negative. Okay, so we have a negative there. So basically, if it's raised to an odd number, it's going to be negative. If it's raised to an even number, it will be positive, if you got a negative sign in there. So this will be 2 times a negative number, because it's an odd number right here. Okay, so 3 raised to itself, or 3 times itself 5 times. 243 minus 3, okay, it's an even number, so I know that's going to be a positive number inside. So 3 raised to 4, 81, minus, okay, it's raised to a negative, so it's going to be a negative, raised to an odd, so it's going to be a negative inside here. So that will be 27, plus, okay, you've got negative 3 raised to an even number, so that would be a positive, so that will be 9, and then plus 2. Okay, 2 times negative 243, that's negative 486. And then we've got 3 times 81, so that's a negative 243. Negative times a negative, that's a positive, so we've got 9 times 27, that's 243. Plus, okay, 8 times 9, that's 72, and then plus 2. Notice I've got a negative 243 and a positive 243. Those just cancel each other out. So I've got negative 486 plus 74. Okay, so I've got 74 minus 486. I'm getting negative 412 for my remainder. Okay, so my remainder is negative 412. Okay, so then the factor theorem. According to the factor theorem, k is a 0 of f of x if and only if x minus k is a factor of f of x. So basically, if we can plug in k and it equals to 0, then we're saying that it is a 0 of f of x, and would also be a factor of f of x. Okay, the fundamental theorem of algebra. So it states that if f of x is a polynomial of degree greater than 0, then f of x has at least one complex 0. We can use this theorem to argue that if f of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than 0, and a is a non-zero real number, then f of x has exactly n linear factors. So f of x is equal to a, x minus c sub 1 times x minus c sub 2 all the way times x minus c sub n. And all of those c values right here, they're talking about those being complex numbers. So therefore, f of x, this is the important part, has n roots if we allow for multiplicities. So why it says if we allow for multiplicities, say we had f of x is equal to x minus 2 raised to 3x minus 1. Okay, then what I'm going to do is to find the roots, we would set each of these, we'd set this equal to 0, and then we set each of these equal to 0 and solve for x, so that's x equals 1. Now that one has a multiplicity of 1. This one has a multiplicity of 3. Okay, so it's saying if we allow for multiplicities, so I would cube root both sides. So x minus 2, didn't change the other side. So x is equal to 2. So really what we're saying is we have one root here and we have one root here. Now it says f of x has n roots, and n is talking about the degree of the polynomial. So let's find the degree of this polynomial. Well, this would be times its x minus 2 would be times itself 3 times. So that would be x times x times x. So we would have an x cubed here. This is raised to 1, so then it would be times x. So this is x raised to the 4th. So we have an n of 4, but I only found 2. Now what I could have done is this right here. So we'll write x equals 1 over here. Leave that there. What I could have done is this right here. X minus 2 raised to 3 is the same thing as x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2, and set each one of those equal to 0, which obviously each one of those would be equal to 2. But then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 roots, and that's where the n roots, if we allow for multiplicity, comes into play. Okay, so let's look at this. Given h of x is equal to 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 2x plus 3, find all the zeros, real and non-real, of h of x, and then write h of x in factored form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it equal to 0, because I'm trying to find all the zeros here. Okay, and I'm going to try to, I see 4 terms, so I'm going to try to factor by grouping first. So I'm going to group these two and these two. So I'm going to take out an x squared for the first one, and I'm going to take out a negative 1 for the second one. So that would be 2x minus 3. Notice both of them have a 2x minus 3, so I'm going to factor that out. I'm left with x squared minus 1. Now I'm going to set each one of those equal to 0 and solve. So this will be 3 over 2. This will be 1 square root plus or minus x equal to plus or minus square root of 1 is 1. Okay, now what was the degree of this polynomial? It was 3. Okay, so I should have 3 roots. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So there's my 3 roots. Okay, so there's all the zeros. And then it says write this in factored form. So h of x can be written as x minus 3/2 times x minus 1. That's for this one right here. X plus 1. That's for this one right here. Notice how this was a positive. It's a negative over here. This one was a positive. It's a negative here. This one was a negative. It's positive over here. So you change the sign when you put it back into factored form. Because what you do is when you're trying to find the zeros, you would take this right here and you would set it equal to 0 and solve for x, and hey, you get back this right here. Okay, so this is the factored form. All 3 of these, that would be the zeros of that polynomial.